All right. Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for tuning in today to Lions Talk Live morning show edition. And hey, what do you know? We've got one day until the big playoff game. The playoff game most of us have been waiting our entire lives for, or if not your entire life, at least 30 some years for the Lions to host another playoff game, and it is basically here. Also, we got a lot of things that are going to affect the future of not only the NFL, but the team itself. So we're going to dive into a little bit of that today because we all know all eyes are going to be on Matt Stafford. All eyes are going to be on Jared Goff. Right, wrong, or indifferent, no matter what you think about the trade, whatever you think about these people as quarterbacks or whatever, the reality is this. They are going to be forever linked due to this trade. The fact that Jared was cool enough to take the Rams to the Super Bowl and lose to Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, the New England pound machine that was a dynasty for 20 years, or the fact that he got traded to Detroit and Stafford came on in, and you know what? Stafford got the Super Bowl victory. So whatever is going to happen, we all know this. Lions fans have been waiting forever for this. Lions fans see the potential of this team. Lions fans probably also have a moment of pause or trepidation in regards to how they view the LA Rams coming to Ford Field. All right, with all that said, let's talk about a couple things real quick, get them out of the way before we get to the comments section. If you're new to Lions Talk Live and you're willing to do so, please consider subscribing. I think we literally need like 3 or 4 subs to hit 5,600. I stand corrected. We need 3 subs to hit 5,600. Excuse me, still recovering from my cold. And basically, I'm trying to make a move to get to about 5,700 if possible before kickoff tomorrow night. So lofty goals for sure. Also, lastly, if you're enjoying the video, if you got a free second, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. That would help out quite a bit. And one last thing, if you're unaware, outside of being a coach, a scout, and a YouTuber, I am a realtor and have been for 50 billion years. So if you're looking to buy or sell property in the state of Michigan, anywhere in it, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, left side of Peninsula, right side, whatever it may be, give me a call, shoot me a text. Let's see if I can save you some money and make the whole process a little bit smoother and easier for you. 269-998-2384. All right, all that said and done now, out of the way, the formalities are closed. Let's talk a little bit about the Lions and Rams for tomorrow night, and maybe let's talk about Jared Goff a little bit. All right, Jason, excuse me, being named and quote All-Pro is significantly more prestigious than making the Pro Bowl. I would agree. One is a reflection of what the writers, etc., people in the powers that be think of you. The other, is a popularity contest. And let's be also honest, those votes or the votes that go into it can be manipulated a little bit. All right, huge congrats to Amon-Ra St. Brown Sewell for making first team. Yeah, and the fact that you get, 5 Lions all together on that, Jason? Man, times are changing, aren't they? And really kudos to Jalen Reeves-Maybin making it, too. At this point in his career, special team ace, standout, stalwarts, whatever, name you want to give them. Just really all the guys. Yeah, and I see, okay, your next comment, Laporta, Ragnar, Maybin made the second team. Congrats. Yeah, for the Lions to get that just really shows, 1, their eye for talent, 2, their ability to develop guys, 3, just how well, dare I say it, the coaching staff has been using some of these players. Also, Brad Holmes needs some real true credit and praise for his drafts as well. All right, mile marker. Good morning, Lions Pride. Yes, congrats to St. Brown and Sewell. They are some of the very best. They are 100%. JDC, good morning. Good morning, all. Good morning, and hopefully you're having a great one, buddy. All right, Robert, good morning. Dan and crew, 25 hours till kickoff. Woo! doing the best I can, and I am feeling much, much better. But yeah, still a little bit of congestion stuff with the throat. So sorry if I mute the mic every once in a while when I know I have to cough or sneeze or something. All right, Jason, who are the AFC picks today? Boy, you guys got any thoughts on that? Man, I mean, I've been more probably obviously focused on the Lions and such, but you've got a bunch of good things happening. You got the wild card games. You got throughout the weekend, you've got the Monday night game, Saturday games. Oh boy, it's going to be a jam-packed weekend, and one I think everybody's, because we're involved versus just talking about draft picks and such. Everybody's going to be watching. Everybody's going to be reason to watch and say, hey, from the AFC side, who would match up better with Detroit? Who are we rooting for? Probably really should maybe tomorrow morning put together a rooting guide based on way too early predictions for who the Lions should play in the Super Bowl from the AFC. If you guys got any thoughts on that, though, Jason, this might be a good one. Yeah, go ahead and throw them in the comments section. Let me think about the AFC picks as far as who I would take. I know I already told you guys earlier in the week who I am going to pick or take, I guess you want to say, as far as in the NFC leading up to the Super Bowl. So if you didn't catch it, I guess I'll just redo it. So I've got the Lions, call me a homer or whatever, but I've got the Lions beating the Rams. I've got Green Bay beating Dallas. Then I've got Tampa Bay beating Philadelphia. And from there, you're going to have Tampa Bay coming to Detroit, Detroit beating Tampa, Green Bay beating the 49ers in San Francisco, and then Detroit beating Green Bay to get to the Super Bowl. So see if that shakes out. Excuse me. All right. KC and Bills. All right. We'll go with that, Robert. I'll take that. I think most would say, yeah, that's a real possibility. All right. Polar Bear. I was thinking about Gibbs. That resulted in this question, which is about the entire offense. Do you think Ben Johnson has been saving plays for the playoffs? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Polar Bear. Yeah, he's kept a few things ready, probably trick plays or maybe a couple different formations, specifically to try to catch people off guard. I would say that's not uncommon. But in Ben Johnson's case, it may be a little bit more inventive than the norm. All right, Jason at Polar Bear, yes! Exclamation point. Trick plays up their sleeves. Yeah, and I gotta imagine we're gonna see them. Trump's few morning no Houston day. Yeah, oh boy. Due morning, I think is what you probably meant. But no Houston today. Yeah, the only thing I can think of with the James Houston stuff, and you guys let me know your thoughts. Obviously, this guy's been back on the practice field for a while. So the only thing I can ascertain is they feel they've got somebody who can fit that spot, and they don't have to bring Houston officially out of the roster spot since he's still got, I guess it would be this morning, 5 days left for evaluation. So they wouldn't have to do anything to next week. But I just can't believe that leg isn't fully recovered at this point. But been wrong before, man. All right, mile marker, how's the Storm doing downstate? Are the Rams coming in today? I think they arrived yesterday. I don't have anything official on it, and to be honest, I forgot to check on it. But I believe all indications were that they arrived yesterday. But if they came in today, wow, they really are pushing it to the last minute. Good part is you only have to hang out in a hotel for one day. But yeah, cross-country flight, you're switching time zones. Probably not ideal. I mean, trust in McVay if you're a Rams fan, because he's done a great job with your franchise and program. I just would think, man, since you're losing, what are you losing from LA to Michigan? You're losing 4 hours. Is that right? Yeah, I want to say that's right. I guess with the game being at 8 o'clock on Sunday, it wouldn't be horrible because that's 4 o'clock. If my math is right in my head this morning, your local time. So it might not be as egregious. Yeah, but I guess we'll see. I couldn't tell you one way or another for sure, but I believe they arrived yesterday, Miles. All right, Drake, greetings and salutations, everyone. Snowed in here, so I'm just going to kick back today and get ready for tomorrow's game. Kind of the same here. I know I'll go out and test the roads to get after the show, the morning Mountain Dew. Then I probably got to go over and take care of my mom's driveway and stuff like that. My mom's almost 90, so while she still lives on her own, still does a lot of that stuff, just don't want her doing it at her age and whatever it is, 6 inches of snow outside. But the rest of the day, I'm probably like you guys, watching TV, football, doing whatever to get ready for tomorrow. Maybe even cooking a few things. So, anyways, Polar Bear, interesting stat. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp have drop issues. I did not know that. Thank you for that, Polar Bear. Oops. Sorry about that, guys. I hope the ball slips through their hands. Well, hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. If they could drop it like 20 times, just this one game, I'd be okay with that. How about 20 times each? Trump, how did Laporta not make all pro? That's a great question. And the one I can't answer, but it is a good question. You can't get everybody in, but to have a record breaking season like you did, you could argue, and you guys let me know your thoughts. Is he not one of the top 5 tight ends right now in the NFL? Maybe even top, heck, man, do you say top 3 or 2? I don't know. It'd be hard to go against him. Robert, Jason Berry. I'm also a coach. Good. That's awesome, man. Robert, what do you coach? I guess I don't know. I never thought to ask. Sorry about that, man. Bill, I think Goff will be Joe Cool tomorrow night. Lions going to the ship. I tend to agree with you, Bill. I think when you look at Jared Goff and the fact that he's 28 years old, he's grown up in the NFL, basically in a playoff scenario. So he's had tons of playoff games. He's obviously been to the Super Bowl. I think that all is going to help exponentially as far as tomorrow night. Plus, you have a number of coaches who have either played in the playoffs, the Super Bowl, or even coached in the playoffs. I get maybe not as head coaches, but as assistant coaches. So everybody's going to be super excited. There's nothing you can do to get away from that. You are going to feel the energy in Ford Field. That place is going to be just a powder keg of Lions fandom excitement. And that's going to spill onto both teams 100%. All right, Robert, greetings and salutations all. Seems like you're up early, Jason. Maybe Jason is. Maybe he's an early riser. All right, Jason, greetings and salutations, Coach and Robert G. Coaches in the house. Well, yeah, we've got some. And, like I said, let me know what you coach. And, hey, if you got any coaching breakdown or analysis you want to throw at everybody about some of the games, that'd be awesome. Fire away, my friend. Robert, okay, LOL. All right, Doug, what do you got? Greetings and salutations all. The anticipation is building. Go Lions. Yeah, I agree. And the fact so we went out to eat just, a little pub, maybe a block and a half from our house. Went over there yesterday, and as bad as the weather was, there were still some people in there, and you could hear the people behind the bar, the wait staff, and a lot of people there talking about the game amongst themselves, or when you heard one person talk about it, somebody else doing something. So it's something most of us haven't seen around here in a long time as far as the Lions fans. It's just everybody's aware of it. Even if you're a casual Lions fan or NFL fan, you're talking about it, and it's just really awesome to see the excitement on the billboards and everything going down the field or down the street. Trump, 37 hours and counting. Well, tick, 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 tick. Every second we're talking on the show, there's one less second you all have to wait. There we go. Broski, F the snow, move to the south. As long as you don't go too south, right? All the way to Antarctica. But there's a bit of snow, and I believe we're supposed to get like another 6 or 7 inches today. Robert, it's time for the Lions to use all of their trick plays. Note the place that nobody has ever seen, building them out. Bring them out now. Jump on a merrily and take control. All right. I'll take that, Robert. Yeah, I think you're right. If you've got anything you've been holding on to, tomorrow's going to be the day to use it. You don't want to say, we'll wait some for the next round. Because if you don't win, there ain't a next round. I know some of us have talked about, and you guys have made some great suggestions all week about the potential for this being a Denver game like a month ago or whenever it was. And maybe you're right. I think there is some real potential. This defense could supersede some expectations. Let's be fair across the national media. Heck, maybe even some of the Lions fandom media. The expectations may not be the greatest for this defense, but I do believe there is some real potential. You get a couple of the right hits, throw some things off of the Rams. Maybe you really do get a few turnovers, a few sacks, and change the scope of this game tomorrow night because of what the defense does. AJ Green, salutations all. The playoffs are here! Exclamation point. It's going to be a great weekend. Another exclamation point. Blah, blah, blah. But yes, I agree. Yeah, the playoffs are here, and it's go time. There is nobody left sitting on the sidelines at this point. if you're physically able to go, you're going. And you know what? It's just if you're an NFL fan, it's the best time of the year, in my opinion. All right, Trump's any games today? Boy, I want to say there is NFL games today, aren't there? NFL games this weekend. Let's check. I want to say there is. Today is 13th. Yeah, so at 4:30, you got Browns at Texans and Dolphins at Chiefs, and that would be a little bit later today. So yeah, there you go. For some reason, I wanted to say there was a third, but I guess not. Just the two today. But they got two today, and then some tomorrow, and then obviously the one on Monday. So yeah, get ready to buckle up and watch some games. Robert, is anyone else love autocorrect? I know it messes me up a lot too, especially when it comes to work or sometimes coaching stuff. So man, I've got to be real careful that I always double check things because you just never know how much it's going to change a sentence structure or even a paragraph if you don't pay attention. All right, Big Eddie at Robert gets me all the time. Yeah, same here, man. It does. Yeah, Trump said, yeah, it stinks. Yeah, it stinks, man. Sorry about that. I feel the Vikings game was a dress rehearsal for this game, having some of the same coaches. There's probably some truth to that. Getting things ready, like I know we all talked about in the second half of last week's game against the Vikings. They did change a lot of things. The Lions did change a lot of things from a defensive schematic standpoint. And I believe they did that for one particular reason, just to try to work on some nuances for the Rams to have it ready. And, hey, some live combat fire. You're able to get guys out there. You're able to iron out some of the wrinkles, whatever you want to say, to get them ready. And while you're also trying to work on your rotations by getting Gardner-Johnson back, etc. All right, Jason. On a recent ESPN show, all 5 of the casts, including former Lion Dan Orlovsky, picked the Rams. Media expectations are low for Lions, except for this team and the fans. And hey, let them do whatever. I think I always try to remind myself, and you guys let me know what you do. But for me, when I see the prognostications or the predictions, I go, really? At the end of the day, what do any of them mean? Because I can tell you for every time the panel goes all in on something, there are times they're all wrong on it because it's just, especially something like NFL football, it really does come down to just 1 or 2 plays in most closely contested games, or we'll just say a handful of plays that ultimately decide the outcome of the game. 1 or 2 things go your way, boom, the game is completely different. And that's no different than if you're the 49ers or I guess the Carolina Panthers. Really, a lot of their games could go vastly different. Not all of them, but a lot of them just on a couple plays. But Jason, you're right. I think if you had a look around the national media, I'm guessing about 60% are picking the Rams. But is that because of Detroit's past? Who knows, man? But I know what I'm picking. I'm picking the Lions by 10, and I've stuck to it all week. The more film I've watched, the more I'm sticking to it. Maybe that makes me a homer. I don't know, but that's where I'm going with it. All right, Matthew, what do you got? Greetings and salutations. Good morning, everyone. Same to you. Hopefully, having a great one, Matthew. Robert, I am so confident the Lions will win. Me too, man. I still think we're going to surprise some people come tomorrow night. Clark, greetings and salutations. Stinks Houston is out. Was really wanting to see his return. Me too. Big time. And I thought he would play a pretty good role in tomorrow's game. But you know what? In order to hold him out, I'm guessing that is an indication they see somebody else being able to do a slightly better job. All right, Robert. My bad. I don't know how to add smiley faces 37 till kickoff, or how to add. Okay, I can see what you're saying there. 37 hours till kickoff. Well, hey, it happens, man. I don't think anybody's going to hold it against you. All right, Jess, what do you got? Yo, Coach Dan, let me ask you, does Stafford worry you a lot or not? So I put it this way. Here's the one thing I don't think most people have talked about, that at least that I'm aware of. So if somebody else has, I apologize if I missed it. I want you to go look at Nick Mullins. Sorry, I killed the name. And watch Stafford play. They're very similar in a lot of ways. Stafford's got more of a howitzer for an arm or a cannon, but look at how they play. Gunslinger mentality. They let it rip. They make a quick read and they rip that ball. I think Mullins, at the end of the day, the Lions win tomorrow. I think a lot of people will do some revisionist history and say Nick Mullins might have helped the Lions out get those wins. Why am I saying that? Because, like I said, the mechanics and everything, his reads, his body mechanics when he's going through progressions and making throws, they're incredibly similar. And I'm not saying Mullins is anywhere near the level of a Matthew Stafford. I'm not doing that. But there's enough similarities there where that might have ultimately been a great set of couple of games leading into the Rams game. That being said, I also think it's going to be hard for Stafford to do a whole lot more than what Millins, or whatever his name is, in Minnesota did for that team. So I do think there's some things you can expose with him. Stafford worries me because, it's like any good veteran quarterback. They can expose some things on you. But at the end of the day, I'm still believing that the Lions defense is going to get enough hits on them to disrupt a few plays, get a few turnovers, and that ultimately, at the end of the day, I think will be the difference. All right, Franz, what do you got? Good morning from, good evening from Germany. Good evening to you too. Hopefully you have a great one. Let me know what German Mountain Dew tastes like. Trump, it's going to be a to-do game. Yes, I would agree. I will probably have to stop at the Circle K before the game and get a refill on my daily dew. Robert G, my only worry is that Stafford getting hurt, as he will be on his back more than his feet. Hurt and injured, two different things. If he's hurt and can't really perform at a high level, or they got to take him out, so be it. I don't wish him any ill will. Hopefully the day after the game, he's right as rain and can go on and do whatever he wants to do with his offseason, since the Rams will be done for the year. Eddie, I think we're about as healthy as going into this game as anyone could expect. Huge for us. And really, with what would appear that Sam Laporte is going to be able to play, yes, he's going to have to wear a sleeve and probably a brace on that knee. But other than that, he's probably good to go. If he is, it does think about Khalif Raymond. But if your number 4th string receiver is the injury that everybody's talking about, then you know what? You're probably, like, to your point, you're probably doing okay this year. All right, Robert, this is the beginning of our 20 years of domination, Lions. 45 Rams, 27. 45 points. Robert, I would take that in a minute. And you know what? If you're even within a point or two and we get 40-some points while winning by 20-ish points, I tell you what, man, I am sending you a Circle K Mountain Dew. Book it. I will have Bobby ship it to you. We'll have to figure it out, but we'll figure it out. Eddie, Trump's Genius, Lava, all right. Garland, good morning, all. Good morning, you too. Robert G, they make a Hallelujah Blue alcohol drink. I did not know that. You got a name for that, or is it just Hallelujah Blue? Let me know, man. I'd be interested. Dennis, good morning, fam. Good morning to you too. Hope you have a great one. Jerome, morning, coach. How are the T-shirts going? And need to represent. I'll have to ask her. I know, just so you guys know, Jen has spent, it's got to be over a month on this website, and she has everything done. I mean, I could post the link for it. Only problem is, so there's some sort of hiccup or whatever where you can't put in your sizes. So you can go to the checkout. Hey, I select this shirt or whatever, but you can't put in your sizes. And she drove herself less than happy for about a week or two messing with that thing, to the point where I think she just said, skip it. We're going to an entire different company and website to make all this stuff. So I guess the short answer to this question is I'll ask her again for an update, but I also don't want to stress her, man, because it was clear how stressed she was getting by it. I'll try to get you an update though, Jerome. Trump's now back to your regular schedule program. All right, here we go. Dennis, morning, Dan. Morning to you too, Dennis. Hopefully I'm going to do one. Jason, look for Stafford's passing in the shotgun the majority of the time while mostly running under center. I'll go with that. Yeah, I think that's a good call. Sir Richard, morning to you too. Trump, woo! All right, there you go. Hit the like buttons. Yeah, I'm sure you guys all know by now, but on this screen, I got no clue what it's at. Robert, Branch, if he and CJ will get all picks today or tomorrow. I'm assuming you mean tomorrow. So yes, tomorrow. Hopefully they get some picks. Broski, Dan rocking the medallion and the haircut. Is that good for luck? Maybe, man. Just the hair. Hey, I got out of bed, threw a little water on it, and that's about it, man. All right, Anthony. Morning, Duke crew. Morning to you too. Hopefully, having a great one, my friend. The Rams played Commanders, Saints, Giants, and half a 49ers team. Lions play better teams. This is also true. And I think you got a great point. You are, to an extent, the reflection of the teams you play against and how you perform against those teams. Don't hold me to this because I don't remember all the results incredibly well, but I want to say they struggled with the Giants. They struggled with, you get both teams for the 49ers regular season finale. Both teams had people out. I couldn't tell you offhand the rest of the games. I don't remember them offhand. I want to say there was a close game with the Commanders, but I don't remember, man. All right, Jason, Robert Yankee, there will be 0 picks today. Tomorrow, they may have a few. Maybe they practice picking today. I don't know. Maybe there's some pregame picks. All right, Dennis, come on, game. I'm jonesing. Yeah, I think most of us just want today to get done so we can get to game day tomorrow. So, yeah, and oh, man, it's going to be a day because I got to go show some places, weather permitting tomorrow. I got some coaching stuff, and, man, I had to tell them, I got to be out of there by 6:30. Can't be going to like 7:30 or whatever tomorrow. So everybody made some adjustments. And I was thankful for that. Anthony, what do you got? If Lions win Super Bowl, does Bugs get a ring? No, since he's not on the playoff roster or not any of the playoff games, he would not. Let somebody feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. You got to be on the playoff roster. I think that's true in most leagues. I don't trying to think. And NBA, yeah, you got to be on the playoff roster. Major League Baseball, I just don't know enough about to be able to say, but I'm fairly certain in the NFL you got to be on the playoffs. Dennis, Jason Berry, you from Monroe? That he'll have to answer. Originally from Troy, Twin Cities now. Okay, Dennis. Okay, brother. Haters House, still love that name, man. Lions by 1,000,000. Woo! There you go, haters. Jerome, hey, coach. By being a season ticket holder, the Lions team sent me a helmet. Cool. Do you believe the Lions and Rams match up well, and why? I did hear from the Sarge, Tony Libretto, that, yeah, the season ticket holders got a copy or a version of the new game helmets that they wore, whatever game it was this year, the blue ones. So that's awesome. You got one, man. As far as the matchup, I think they're basically very similar teams. Offensively, incredibly similar. The Lions, I do believe, have a few more weapons overall on defense, but again, not incredibly dissimilar. It's going to come down to, I think, 1 or 2 turnovers. The Lions get that because they're at home, in my opinion. The fandoms, the energy, the crowd, I really believe all that's going to end up being the small things that make the difference in the outcome of the game. All right, Trump's sweet Saturday football lock in with snow. Yeah, I think you're probably like a lot of this part of the country right now. Probably not getting out doing a whole lot. So what you're going to do, probably hit the grocery store if you didn't already. Probably sit around, work on some stuff around the house, watch some playoff football, and have a good time. All right, broski, all pro equals players vote. Pro Bowl equals fans, players, coaches. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's one is a lot more, to me, impactful on somebody than the other. All right, Trump, I would rather play Dallas than Green Bay. The only way that happens is if obviously Dallas wins, and they could 100%. I could be wrong. I'm not going to say that I'm betting the house or anything on Green Bay winning. I'm just telling you what I think, and we'll see what shakes out. Let's worry about us, and then we'll worry about them. But you guys all know my predictions. All right, Anthony. Hey, whoa! Thank you for this, man. Thank you very much, man. That might be today and tomorrow's Mountain Dews. Do you think they will use Gibbs more than the last few games? They really haven't. Is the key to victory. They really haven't. He is the key to victory. I do believe so. I believe that he is going to be unleashed a little bit more. Some of it is, matchups, but I do believe with what I see out of the Rams overall defense, Gibbs is probably a bigger, if I'm them, he's a bigger concern for me than Montgomery. And they're both concerns, don't get me wrong. It's just Gibbs, I mean, he can change the game with one run if he's allowed to get open and then into the open field. Anthony, get you get you a couple of do's and some dogs. You know what? I will do just that, and thank you so much again for that. Thank you. That was very kind of you, man. All right, Phil, did Stafford love this team so much he asked for a trade to resurrect this team? Without Stafford's request for a trade, the Lions would not be the team they are. Um, who knows, Phil? I mean, we'd all be speculating on this. My assumption, and that's all it is, so take it with a grain of salt, is that Stafford just simply, I mean, how many coaching staffs and front offices did he see in his time here? What, 1, 2, 3, 4? Is that right? I don't know, 3 or 4. And I just thought at his point in his career, he probably knew he's closer to the end than the beginning. Probably just wanted to try something different. If things had worked out better for Stafford here, he probably would have been a lifer. Unfortunately, though, it is what it is. He wanted to move on. All right, Robert, do the Rams have access to the practice facility prior to the game? They will be allowed a walkthrough, correct? At least on Ford Field, at Ford Field, not the practice facilities. Jason, do you drink some green Kool-Aid this morning with your Green Bay picks? I do believe they will take care of Dallas at least. Hopefully, we see a revenge game against our NFC rival. And basically, Jason, that's what I was thinking is that, I could see them beating Dallas. The 49ers would be a massive achievement for them. But also thinking for the Lions, hey, that'd be a great storyline. We're going to face them at Ford Field. Rematch from Thanksgiving Day game. Two fairly similar teams. Why not, man? It just, it would make a lot of sense to me, but you still got to get past the 49ers to make that happen. All right, Robert G should be able to get double cheeseburger. This should be. I just got to make sure Jen is not aware of it because she would probably frown upon me doing that. I barely get by with the hot dogs, man. Dr. Detroit Dan, are you going to the game Sunday? No, unfortunately, I can't do some stuff I got to do coaching wise earlier in the day. There's just no way I can get done at whatever time, 6:30, and then get over to Detroit for the game. So gonna have to watch from home, man. Let's see. Polar Bear Lions like to use bigger edges against non-mobile quarterbacks. Prefer more versatile edges than Houston. Aquara and Pascal have been playing better. You've got a good point on how Pascal and Romeo Aquara have been playing. So you're right, Polar Bear. That could be the difference. Robert, Dan, how far do you have to drive to get that due? On a day like today, it's normally like a 10-minute, 15-minute drive, but with the roads, man, it could be closer to half hour today. All right, Broski, Dan gonna get his yellow dye 5 on it. Yes, I will, man. 1,000%. Troy, Dr. Troy, top 3 tight ends. Yeah, as far as Laporta, I would agree with that. Yeah, top 3. Dennis, top 3. Yeah. Jason, what do you got? Trump's genius. Laporta made second team All-Pro. Many more to come. I would agree. I just don't see him slowing down. You guys know my thoughts on what the sophomore slump is. Just means everybody knows how to defend you better based on having availability of tape and film on you. But I just don't see that with him. I think he's going to keep trucking. Doesn't mean he's going to put up exactly the same stats he did this year. Teams will try to limit him more in the future. But the good thing for the Lions, you've got a lot of weapons. You got a lot of things you got to try to limit before you can probably focus a ton on just one. All right, Broski All-Pro is voted by players only. Tough for rookies to make All-Pro. Pro Bowl is voted on by a combination of the fans, players, coaches, 1/3 of evenly for each. Correct. All right, Blind Tom, do we have a backup kicker? Unfortunately, we do not. Well, I guess who would be our emergency kicker? I know Jack Fox says he is not a kicker, And he even, what was it, a year or two ago, he put out some video of just him missing kicks left and right. It's like, yeah, I'm not that guy. Robert G, I used to coach high school football. Congrats, man. Not a genius. Hey, don't have to be, man. Doesn't mean you can't get things right, though. All right, Rick, what do you got? This is not a game to get quiet in. Go out, dominate the line of scrimmage, and everything else will take care of itself. I like the way you're thinking. I had Coach Dan, Island Rose, Coach Dan. Yeah. How you doing? Good to see you. Broski. Geez, Dan, have you, sorry about that, guys. Have you never heard the term the South is in the southern states? My goodness. You said Antarctica. Amazing. No, I knew what you meant with that. I was just saying, as long as you don't go too south. Alien Rose, Coach Dan, I heard that Megatron on Sunday's game is going to be on the sidelines of Matthew Stafford. It could be. I mean, hey, they were teammates for the better part of a decade, so I get it. It would be unfortunate if he does that, just because, obviously he's a Hall of Famer and a Lion, but we'll see what happens. If it happens, it happens. There's not much you can do about it. All right, Dennis, does anyone know what Robert Porcher is doing nowadays? I don't, to be fair. And he is, in my opinion, one of the greatest Lions that mostly never gets talked about. The guy was he had a stretch of games where he was just a monster. He would get a sack, it seemed like almost every game. And he was just almost impossible for most other teams to block efficiently. Dude could play. All right, JDC Magic 8 Ball says Lions 37, Rams 31. I'll take that big time. James Willis, greetings and salutations from Coldwater. I rarely get to watch you live. This is a treat for me. Hey, well, congrats on watching it live, and hopefully you're having a good one. Hopefully you're staying warm too. Yeah. Robert G, at least a 10-point win, Dan. All right, I'll go with that. Maybe I'm being a little, cautious by saying 10 points. We'll see what shakes out. Let's see. Jared Goff needs to be a leader and lead this team to victory 100%. Chinori. Hopefully I'm not saying that incredibly wrong, and I apologize if I did. So sorry about that. But yes, to your point, Jared Goff needs to step up. You can probably tell from the thumbnail, I'm anticipating there's going to be a ton of attention on him, like there will be on Stafford. Let's be real. They're both the quarterbacks on playoff teams, I should say. They're going to get a lot of attention. So yeah, he needs to step up, and you know what? He's got a pretty good track record in the postseason. All right, Robert, what do you got? Best game of the week? I would agree. As far as matchups, Lions win by a possession. We quiet the haters Sunday. I like this. Yeah, man, you get this win, and the Lions fandom, the nation, will go to an incredibly another level. If the Lions do get a second home playoff game, man, I can only imagine what that one would be like. All right, Robert G, they will handle the Rams the same way they handle the Broncos. I like it. Yeah, I agree. There is some similarities. Robert, the defense and takeaways will be the hinge points of this game. Yeah, you and I are basically on the same points here, or same mindset. Phil, Skipper scores a TD. Now, all right, Phil, is that the game-changing one? Is that the score that will cinch the game? Let me know, my friend. All right, Dr. Troy, they called it playoff Kool-Aid. All right, they call it playoff Kool-Aid. All right, I'll go with that. All right, sorry, man. Struggled with that one. I don't know why, but I did. But I will have to check out the playoff Kool-Aid. All right. JDC, hopefully Stafford will get many looks at the Ford Field roof. Go Lions. Yeah, if they can put him on his back a lot, yeah, that'd be okay. And you'd be like, hey, I remember that spot. Yeah, I've seen it before. Robert, Blur, Kool-Aid, and vodka. All right, I will take that under advisement. All right, Trump, Jim Jones, Kool-Aid for the Rams. All right, Jimmy Jones. All right. Jason, Dan, your green screen is showing. Yeah, I see it popped out a little bit, but it happens, man. All right, Robert, they drink it made by Cooper Craft called Honolulu Blue. All right, man, you guys know a lot about this. The smoke, Super Bowl Lions, 58 Lions versus Browns. All right, so okay, we're replaying the I guess before it was the Super Bowl, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Lions versus Browns. All right. Let's see, Robert G. You can get it at Meyer. I'll go check that out. See if it's around here and if they have anything like that. Robert, let's see. They barely lost to Baltimore. Let's not forget that. No, the Rams did play and have been playing very well for a while now. It's just, I still think that the Lions are going to pull it off. We've got a couple things we can hit them with. So maybe it's just as simple as that. The defense does get a few more stops or whatever have you, and it's the difference in the game. All right, Derek. We played Baltimore tough to OT and should have won. They played Baltimore, excuse me. Yeah, they did. They had some real opportunities there, and they played well. Don't make any mistakes about it. They have. But I will say that I just think the Lions are still going to win by 10. All right, Broski. Geez, Dan, you can't read either. No, I can't. I'm struggling a little bit today. Say it with me, Medallion. Maybe you've been drinking that Flint tap water too. Hey, I have not tried out any of the Flint official tap water. But yes, I've struggled a little bit reading this morning for sure. All right, Derek, I think the Super Bowl rings are the franchise's discretion. Yeah, it could be. I would have to really dive in to see if it's a team rule or league-wide rule, but I do believe you've got to be on the playoff roster or on the IR, so you're part of the team during the season, but got put on injured reserve. All right, Robert G., that drink is made in Holland, Michigan. All right, I know Holland well. Silver Surfer, hello, and hello to you too, my friend. Hopefully you're having a great day, buddy. Robert, Stafford in the huddle, loud. Yes, it's going to be dang loud and tough for them to be able to make anything out of it. All right, the smoke, stack up on Jackling jerky if you get snowed in. Yeah, I do love that kind of stuff. I just, Jen tries to get me to eat pretty healthy. We'll put it that way. Derek, what do you got? If we play Dallas, we have to pay the refs also. This is true. That may be a pre-game requirement when they go out there to do the coin flip. Hey, everybody hand them the envelopes, see what you can get. It's going to come down to who's got the most money in that envelope. All right, EZ Linesman. This snow is a perfect example why Dallas is the number 2 seed. It could be a point. Robert Stafford at the line, loud, big plays, loud. When are we on offense in any other situation? Shh, okay. Yes. And to your point, yeah, when the Rams have the ball, Ford Field is going to be incredibly loud. When the Lions have the ball, I would think it's going to be a lot more ability for everybody to hear. I was going to say hearable, but that doesn't work. Trump's genius. We're in great shape for a Super Bowl run to stud running backs. Agreed. And a lot of the playoff games, like you guys all know, you're got to establish your ground game. Anthony, if Stafford was a QB of this team, how? Just wondering. If he didn't get traded, he probably still would be. But he wanted out, and I get it. So we've got Goff and a lot of picks in return. It did speed up the rebuild process for this team exponentially. Trump, I like Goff, less turnovers. Somebody had. I'm sure there's probably been about 50 different stats or whatever memes out there that show that since the trade, their overall stats are pretty dang similar. I think Goff has a few less interceptions or whatever, but yeah, their stats aren't egregiously different. So you gave up a lot, like we talked about earlier in the week. I think other than some physical traits, Stafford can throw the deep ball, better than Goff, and that's my opinion. You can have a different one, but I don't think they're really different as a quarterback. All right, JDC, do stand dogs. Great name for a hot dog shop. You might be onto something, especially at like train stations or anything like that. Having a little stand out there for that. Maybe at certain work sites or whatever. Maybe family get-togethers. Having something like that could be delivered. You could be onto a real business opportunity there, JDC. All right, Triple C's great name, 100%. Big M, good morning, Dan and the crew. Dan, safe travels to in that weather, and anyone else having to travel, have a blessed day. Let's go. Woo! Big M, I agree with you. Yeah, it's you're going to want to take your time if you're traveling. So if anybody does have to travel, make sure you just give yourself a little extra time. Robert, do you think we'll have enough with Aleem and Hutch to get to Stafford? Between that and some of the blitzes, I know we mentioned earlier, somebody in the chat about Romeo and Pascal playing better. hopefully it's going to be a team effort. Again, probably is not going to be one or two individuals that get it done. So I don't think we have quite that type of player. Although Hutch is, he continues to evolve. Same with Aleem. So yeah, you're gonna have to look for probably a lot of schematic things to set up the pass rush. Robert, I get the scheming on D, but will it be enough? I'm predicting it will be, because I believe it is going to lead to a turnover too, and I do believe it's going to be those turnovers that are the differences in this game. James, I don't like Badgley at all. His kicks sail too close to the goalpost uprights. Yeah, I agree. It's just at this point in the season, you're probably stuck with him because I don't see anybody else coming in to replace him. That will be a huge upgrade. Phil, Honey Badger will be fine. All right, I'll go with that. D Hill, what do you got? Megatron picked the Lions to win, so I highly disagree with him being on the Rams sideline. That's good to know. I did hear that Megatron won it. I was not aware he was going to be on the Rams sideline. So if you're saying he's not going to be, which I would have been surprised if he was, but I'd be happy if he's on Detroit sidelines. Same with Barry. Who knows who else will show up? Robert, he will report a touchdown. All right, I'll go with that. Robert, stop either Puka or Cooper is a must. Yeah, they had to have been planning for this all week long. Anthony, yeah, you have that Flint water, no joke. I do not. I live in, just so you guys know, I live in Southwest Michigan, so a little different area. Don, Rams beat the Giants team by 1 point a few weeks ago. Could beat this team. We can beat this team. Yeah, I agree. We can. 100%. We can beat this team. Scott, Dan, are you saying Jen is a vegetarian? No, she's not. She loves steak and everything. She just is. I mean, it's part of her profession. She's in the fitness world, so she conversely tries to make me. Well, I shouldn't say make, but helps me, I guess, with some of that. So she very much is cognizant of what I eat. And no, she does not love me drinking Mountain Dew every day either. Phil, yes, she is. Yes. No, she's not. She's not a vegetarian. Robert G. Megatron said that he will talk to Stafford, but he will be in a suite on the Detroit Lions side. Yeah, and that's basically what you expect. I mean, they've been teammates for a decade-ish. So yeah, you got to imagine some respect and friendship, camaraderie. But it's good to hear that, yeah, Megatron's going to be there rooting and supporting the Lions. Ryan, the Wayside in Mount Pleasant served it back in the early 80s. Oh, okay. I did not know that. Jason Berry, Anselone said fans cheering like crazy while Stafford is in the huddle is critical. Yes, and I know he had some comments about what to do to try to help the team out, especially when, like you're saying, Jason, when the Rams have the ball. Don, it's on YouTube. Just pull up the Megatron interview up. He's a Lion. Yes, and I think, man, it's great that they repaired that friendship, or that, I guess you could say, friendship between Megatron and the Lions, because you imagine going into this game if that hadn't happened. Yeesh. Anthony, one less Stafford, 11, Goff 12. Yeah, and Stafford played one less game, so keep that in consideration too. Dennis, Wayside was fun. Yeah, there used to be one in Kalamazoo, Michigan too. That's been shut down for a little while now. All right, Robert, didn't we get money in the trade for Stafford that helped us build the new team we have now? We got a lot of draft capitals. I don't think there was any specific finances involved. We got draft picks and then obviously Goff as well. All right, Robert G. I have been on the Wayside back in the day. I have been to the Wayside back in the day. Yeah. I think I'd stopped there once or twice when coaching at Western. I want to say that was the place up in Mount Pleasant, but don't hold me to that. All right, Trump, so Genius Stafford gets too many balls knocked down. Hopefully he gets a few more tomorrow. Ryan, blue motorcycle. All right, we'll go with that. Probably not a great weather for riding one, but I'm also couldn't tell you. Phil, find us a property that needs some love where we could open Dan's Do's and Dogs. I'll look into that, Phil. I will look into that. Robert G. I retired from Battlefield in Mount Pleasant. Okay. Rose, what do you got? Coach Dan, do you know that Megatron on Sunday's game will be on sideline and chat with Matthew Stafford? What do you think about that? I mean, like I said earlier, Rose, hey, they're friends. They played together forever. Stop by, say hi, wish your buddy well. But it does sound like he's going to be cheering on the Lions. Who knows what will happen? But I wouldn't be surprised by two former teammates saying hi before a game, especially a playoff game. All right, Don, that woo waking up my house. Dan, lower it down. Woo. Sorry, Don. I'll try to woo a little lower for you. Robert Dempfield. All right, we'll go with that. Robert G. My God, if it was up to Badgley's foot and he missed, can you imagine the? Oh boy, same old Lions talk. I never said that. Yeah, well, let's hope that never comes into play. How about that? All right, Dennis. My ex went to school at Central Michigan. I've been there many times for coaching stuff, but I never went to school there. Jason, in the Megatron interview, he mentioned looking to catch a ball or two from Stafford. Good sportsmanship until the whistle. Yeah, be friendly but afterwards, it's game time. Let Calvin come over right after the opening kickoff and deliver a clothesline to Matthew Stafford. Then hit him with a steel chair over the back. Something like that. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen either. Robert, Megatron's part of the commission ain't sitting over with Stafford, LOL, but I'm sure he's going to get his boy a hug. Yeah, why wouldn't he? I mean, they're friends. Phil, fans will be player 12. Yeah, they will be the 12th man or whatever you want to say for the game. Matthew, Megatron said he is supporting the Lions. He would talk to Stafford before the game. Kay Adams was bragging him up to catch a ball from Stafford, then go to the last second and say you want Stafford to win. Agreed. All right, Derek, AG talked about missed tackles being critical. We have to eliminate the yak yards. Yeah, I would agree with AG that they get their catches fine, but they don't get anything more. Matthew, since she cut the interview, correct. Let's see, Robert. What am I talking about badly? We all know Dan's going for it on fourth down. He might. They would be consistent with what he has done all season. My own marker, can you say something encouraging about coach scheme for the game? Yeah, I will say this, Mile. I think you're going to see both coaches come out pretty aggressive because that's who they are. Plus, it'll put in my opinion, it'll put the Rams a little bit on their heels. You got that noise. You got everything happening there. You got the energy. If you come out, if you're Detroit and hit a couple big plays early, that's just going to add fuel to that fan fire and go from there. Phil, Soflex, yes. All right, Jason, second INT prediction. I'm going to go with Lions. We're going to have 5 sacks and 2 picks. Go with that. Derek, how many sacks will Iffy get? Let's go with 1.5 sacks for Iffy and 1 fumble recovery, 1 INT. All right, Phil. We may see a somewhat different and better scheme by the Lions for the playoffs. Yeah, they will probably make some adjustments based on their personnel and how they think it would be best set up for the Rams. 100%. All right, Matthew, PF and PA, we are 50 plus. PF in 18, PA versus Rams stats. Puka 5 TDs, Laporta 10, Gibbs 10 TDs. I'll take our chances. Yeah, 100%. Sir Richard, we have a special teams advantage that we need to take advantage of. What's up with Raymond? Raymond will not be playing, unfortunately. I get it. He's hurt. He hurt that lower leg pretty good. But to your point, yeah, special teams, we do have a big advantage there. Maybe a surprise will happen there tomorrow. Ed, good morning. Good show, Dan. Thank you for that, Ed. Sorry, my voice is starting to struggle a little bit. All right, so anyways, gonna have to clear the throat a little bit more. Robert, Phil's right. We're the 12th man. It's the kind of crazy we actually got yelled at by the refs for being booed. I do remember that, Robert. Yeah, once upon a time, yeah, they wanted to throw a penalty flag on the Silverdome crowd for being too loud. And Cube, yeah, something I don't think you do nowadays, but the fact that they were trying to do it then. Robert and Phil, that's right. We're the 12th man, kind of crazy. Okay, sorry, I already got that one. Jason, thanks for the show. Like and subscribe. Woo! Go get the Dew Crew. Yes. Phil, the refs can call a penalty on the crowd. They did once upon a time. Once upon a time, they did. Dennis, can Dorsey return kicks? We might find out. Derek, is Laporta still a game time decision? I believe he will be, but especially with James Mitchell now out for tomorrow, I'm going to guess that that's basically the key that they're going to have Laporta ready. Laporta and Wright. Marker, everyone have fun shoveling snow. Remember to breathe, 100%. So, all right, I'm going to close it up here. It's been almost an hour. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are literally at the doorstep of, well, I guess to be fair, we hit 5,600. So we're 100 away from 5,700. So if you could do your part to help make that happen, surely would be thankful. If you've liked the show or liked other shows, maybe hit the thumbs up button, the like button, all that stuff. Otherwise, hope you're all bracing for the winter storm. If there's more of it today, you're having a great time this weekend, getting ready for tomorrow's game. If there's some breaking news later today, I'll try to get it out to you as quick as possible. Otherwise, I'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.